What internet marketing expert should you spend your valuable time listening to? Listen to someone who has over 20 years of web marketing experience and hundreds of website marketing success stories. That man is Aaron Sparks from Site Strategics. And this is Edge of the Web Radio.
This week I wanted to talk to you about a great article from Search Engine Land that we wanted to share from Brian Massey. He had a great perspective into the thing. Now, there is an insidious voice speaking into your visitors from the moment they click onto your website. It camps in the back of their minds, setting up a tent and proceeding to talk to your visitors out of taking action. While there are many angles this voice can work to fill visitors with doubt, there is likely one thing that is common to a large number of your visitors, and that's the thing. Boom, 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 boom.
Suspenseful music.
Hey, you know what? If you can discover and address that thing, the major concern shared by a significant number of your visitors, then you can make some major improvements in your conversion rates and your revenue per click. And that's what all this is about. When testing, we found that this thing can fall into one of 5 areas.
Yeah, can we before we what's a conversion? Can we explain to people who aren't quite sure? Before we get into really geek talk, let's explain what a conversion is.
That's right. Conversion is literally a visitor to your website doing what you want them to do. Now, a lot of times that just means buying something online. Okay, that's the easiest way to understand a conversion is if they hit the site, found the page, clicked on add to cart, went all the way through, got the receipt, right? Yep. Okay, that's one type of conversion. Another conversion is a sales lead or a newsletter site.
A contact form, a freebie, a free download,
that's right.
White paper.
Anything. So it's anything that you're wanting them to do. They come in this point, and you want them to go over here.
It's your goal. It's your website's goal.
Yep. So there's some restrictors that need to be addressed that could be problematic for your website that you may not even be paying attention to, that your visitors are. These concepts revolve around risk reversal, value propositions and messaging that the site has, social proof, the user interface or the user experience, as well as credibility or authority that your site has. All these are nagging questions, but one of them is probably more pressing than the others, and addressing it could give you some early wins and more often transactions, right?
Like the Lord of the Rings, the one ring that ruled them all.
So what Brian recommends is actually setting up a spreadsheet, all right? And he says, basically, put together a spreadsheet that can capture hypotheses. So you as they come to mind, read this as you listen to these gems here. Just this walk through. If I change something, right, then more visitors will do X, whatever you want them to do, as measured by some other metric like revenue or visits or conversion rate improvement or anything. So you start putting in these different columns. If I do this, then this is going to affect this, and then you can actually get a plan together of starting to test this thing out, right?
Yeah. So if I add a red button to this landing page, then more visitors will buy or download my, or contact us, or whatever the goal is.
Or the bounce rate may drop, or these other metrics that are very clearly measurable. And if you want to know more about those metrics, check out Edge of the Web Radio. Check out Site Strategics because they have some great information. We really provide a lot of good educational information about all these. All right? So risk reversal, briefly, we'll talk about this. Some thoughts like, if somebody comes to the website and this may be in their head, what if I regret this purchase? Or what if I don't like it?
The what ifs.
The what ifs, what if I feel tricked? Will you sell my contact information to a spammer, right?
Yep.
What's the likelihood that you will waste my time? Will you protect my data? Now, those are the what ifs. So
those are some big questions to get over for buyers,
Absolutely.
Especially if like I've got big feet, and so I can't really go to Finish Line or Foot Locker and buy a pair of shoes. So generally, I buy my shoes online. It's like, so what if these shoes don't fit me? What's their return policy? Is it easily explained?
That's right. And that's what's called risk reversal, is that you need to answer those what ifs. Now, certainly you're not going to have every question under the sun answerable, but we're already tapping into some questions that if your site doesn't address them, then you need to. The most famous return policy of late is Zappos. Return within 1 year, and we'll pay shipping both ways. That's an incredible policy.
Yeah.
And it's clearly visible throughout the entire site, and it's summarized in the header of the entire website.
Yeah.
So if you're generating leads here, the most important way to communicate risk reversal is your privacy policy and your privacy statement. You should test link anchor text such as we respect your privacy, or your privacy is important to us, and we'll never share or sell your contact information. Having that in the link text that goes to your privacy policy.
Yep.
That is a persuasion element.
Right below the checkout button.
Yep. Did you know that free shipping falls into the category of risk reversal? It means that I won't be surprised by high shipping rates when I get into the shopping cart.
Yep.
It's eliminating the what if. If you can tell people early on, before they even start checking out, whether or not what they're to expect, everybody knows that shipping price is factored in somehow, but at least you're diffusing those potential elements, right?
Yeah, that got burned a lot that on eBay when you think something's really cheap, but then shipping's like way expensive, and you got to. Some people have been burned by it, even though your website might not be eBay or similar to eBay. People have been burned in similar situations in the past, so you got to be aware of those questions people have.
You have to adopt the culture of where people shop from now, and it's not enough just to have the ability to have commerce. You've got to address all those points of compliance that people are expecting. You know? Hey, if you're new to Edge of the Web Radio, listening in for the first time, we're talking about essential tips on how to improve your online leads. We're getting rid of the thing. Another point of discussion here, and we'll make it quick. We'll traipse through the number of these: value proposition and messaging. The whole concept of what's in it for me from a visitor standpoint. What's my payoff? Will you make me look better, smarter, cooler, or more interesting? Those are the things that actually revolve in people's head. They may not be asking those questions directly, but you better believe there's something in the back of their head.
Absolutely.
Are you low price, high quality, or good service? Are you discussing that with your clientele online? Are you making an offer I can't refuse? What is the one thing I need to know about what you're offering? What's your story? Last but not least is, does that girl with a headset really work for you? I can't stand those pictures, man. It's just like, okay, we're going to put a level of anonymity behind everything. You know what? Communicating your value proposition and messaging is a job of page content. That includes the text, the images, the video, and audio, and almost other media. That the headlines and the call to actions are always important. And testing often actually starts right here. So, the inevitable hero image should be tested, especially if you have a rotating banner so prevalent today, which is usually a bad idea anyway. Another thing to talk about here inside of the thing, and I think this is one of them real quick here, social proof. Does the rest of the herd approve of you?
Sure.
All right. Has anyone had a bad experience with your brand? Being able to bring the social factors of your site and your brand into play in direct visibility for your online consumer.
Yeah, or if you're active. If you haven't posted for like a year and a half, I'm going to be kind of dissuaded away from that. So.
Absolutely. Another element is the user interface experience. Basically, hey, I'm new here. Where do I start? I'm back again. Where do I go? What's the next step for me? How many more steps do I have? Does your transaction process, is it easily understood?
It's easy to do, yes.
Another last bit here is the credibility and authority. The voice in the back of your visitor's head may be whispering, will I get duped? Will I look stupid? Will the product be high quality? Have I had a positive experience with you in the past? Would a reasonable person buy from you, right?
Yep.
Are you good people? I mean, honestly, you even need to pay attention to the About Us section to make sure that your values, the principles of the company are displayed. Those are things that you have to pay attention to. Real quick, you know what? Let me give you an edge talk about just breaking down.
Edge Talk.
One of the things to remove the thing out of your online transaction equation is risk reversal, value proposition and messaging, social proof, user interface and user experience, credibility and authority, and please don't follow the rabbit all the way down the rabbit hole. Sometimes some basic testing can really pull a lot of good revenue coming up. Hey.